Hey you guys, this is Nazar again with Provident Real Estate here in Eastvale, the best city in the world, to give you another monthly update of what's happening in our community. So we're in the month of March of 2017, and I wanted to talk about stats that have happened, basically all the sales that took place in the month of February. It was a short month, but there were still 44 homes that sold. You'll get this monthly update probably the next week or so, so look out for it in the mailbox. But for the interim, just wanted to let you know what's happening, okay? So 44 houses that sold, which is fantastic for being such a short month. What's really cool is that the average sold price last month was $528,000 and some change. But 528, so that number is actually going up. Average days on market was 54 days for last month. That doesn't mean that average days on market of how long a home sits on the market in general. That means that the average home that sold last month was on the market on the average of 54 days, right? So that takes into consideration some people that priced their home way too high, that those homes sit on the market for 120, 170, over 200 days, and those homes that sold within a week or two, right? So the average of the homes that sold last month was 54 days, which is fantastic. That's a little shy of 2 months, which is great. Here's the one thing that I found very interesting about last month's stats that I think you should find interesting as well. 34% of the homes that sold were sold to cash buyers, okay? Let me reiterate that, 34%. Normally, Eastvale, we hover around 20 to 25. So it to jump up to 34%, that's significant. What that tells me, you guys, is that the investor pool is out and they're strong. Now, we're not selling to investor pools like we were back in 2012 and 2013. Back in that time frame, you had big, huge hedge funds that were buying, we're talking between 20 to 100 properties every single month. This time around, it's back to your old school mom and pop onesie, twosie buyers that are buying, that are all cash. A lot of those are foreign buyers, but a lot of them are also just people that are, pulling money out of their 401ks, pulling money out of their own personal property they have, and they're buying investment property because they see that the market's going up. Now, again, my own personal opinion, if you've seen my other videos, that it's the herd mentality, right? You have a lot of people that are saying, "Oh my gosh, rates are great right now, and we don't want it to go up. And if it goes up, then we're gonna be able to afford anymore, and therefore we got to buy today." Now, again, I'm not claiming doomsday here, but what I am saying, as you've heard me before, is that I think there's going to be a correction made. Now, that might not happen for another year or two. Might happen in 6 months from now. I don't know. I don't have that crystal ball. If I did, trust me, I would not be selling real estate. I'd be a billionaire sitting somewhere on a beautiful island. But I do know, based on what you do see on the marketplace, you see affordability, that it's imminent. But what does that mean for you and me is at this point in time, if you're having any thoughts on making a move, it is a good time to make a move right now. Now, some of my clients have decided to sell their house and rent for a while. Some of my clients say, "Nazar, I want to sell because it's not the right house for me. This home doesn't fit my needs anymore or my family's needs. However, I don't want to be a renter. I want to buy a home." And here's some good facts about that. You guys, if you get top dollar for your house, right? You call Nazar, I get you top dollar for your home or someone from our company. And with that, then you go and either downsize or get a larger home or buy the home that does meet your needs. Then you're locking in a rate that's fixed for the next 30 years. People have their home, their payment on their home is the biggest payment they make every single month, right? Unless you're buying a big old fancy Tesla or something. Just teasing. But for the most part, that's their biggest payment. And when you can lock your biggest payment, your biggest liability, which also becomes your biggest asset, every single month for the next 30 years, there's some huge, huge comfort in that. Okay, so it doesn't matter what the market does, short term, long term, if you're in a place that you like and you're comfortable, or you want to buy a home that you're going to be more comfortable in, either you need a little bit more elbow room, or it's too much space and you want to downsize, whatever it may be, if you're looking to move, it does make sense to buy now, lock in the rates before they do go up, and sell a high. Yes, you might be buying a little bit high end, but we're not going to have that crash like we had in 2006 and 2007. It's not going to be that free fall of more than 50% depreciation. If it's going to take a correction, it'll probably be around 20%, is my own humble opinion. Again, I could be completely way off, but based on the stats, the things I've read, the industry that I'm in, I have a feeling that might be what ends up ultimately happening. Here's some additional really cool stats I'd like to share with you about so you can see this graph and how that works. You can see on this graph we've taken an active inventory of how many homes were actively on the market every single month for the last 6 months, starting with September of last year, of 2016, all the way to February of 2017. And as you can see, that number is continuing to dwindle little by little each month. Okay, we're down to 69 active listings out of almost 16,000 homes, you guys. Only having 69 homes available for sale. That is an absolute shortage of supply of inventory. When there's a shortage of supply, the demand for those homes the demand doesn't necessarily change, but the demand for each property drastically increases, and therefore gives you more of a chance to get more money for your house. Again, pent-up demand naturally causes prices to go up, barring other additional factors stay the same. Now look at all the homes that are selling. September, 79 homes sold. October, 65, then 59, 73, 55, 44. Again, 44 in February, I think it's just because it's a short month, but you can see that we're still getting a good supply of homes that are being actually sold every single month, even factoring in that the supply of inventory is going down every single month. And then look at the average price of a home sold. If you look at those stats, you can see that every single month, those pricing continues to go up. Now, there could be two factors for this. One, that pricing is actually going up, price per square foot. But two, if you also look at this, it could also mean that higher price point homes are selling. We've sold more homes in the over $600,000 price range in the last 6 months than we have in the last decade. You guys hear that? We've sold more homes. Now, when I say we, I mean all of Eastvale. More Eastvale homes have sold above $600,000 they have in the last 6 months than they have in over the last 10 years. Okay, so things are finally coming up to the level that we were back in 2004, 2005. Now, if you look at this, if you look at average price per square foot, you'll notice that number actually hasn't hovered too much. Okay, it's still staying in the 186, 185 price point. Now that tells me that it's not necessarily that the pricing of home is necessarily going up significantly, but it's just that higher price point homes are selling. Okay. Hopefully you understood what I meant by that. And the average days on market, again, you have that number that indicatively goes down as well, right? We're hovering in the mid sixes or mid 60 days on market. Now we're down to the 54 days on market, and that number will continue to shrink as inventory continues to shrink and as demand continues to grow as we enter the spring season. So it's a phenomenal time to get your home on the market, to make a move if you're looking to make a move. If you're looking to move back to Orange County or to LA County, or you want to downsize and stay in Eastvale, or buy a house across the street in Hooper Valley, get something a little bit less expensive. Today's a day to make a move if you're looking at making a move. Now, mind you, I have clients who say, yeah, gosh, Nazar, I want to make a move by June. Well, if you want to make a move by June, even with rates being, inventory levels being as low as they are, and therefore having an impact on how quickly a home sells, you still have to factor in that it still takes, on the average, 54 days. That's not including pre-marketing time. That's also not including escrow time. So if you factor those two additional things into the equation, you're still looking at about 3 to 4 months of a process. So if you want to be sold and moved by June or July, guess what? We got to talk now. If we've never met, you guys, give me a call. If you like just information, right? Even if it's, hey, Nazar, I'm just curious. I'm just, just thinking about the idea. I have no intentions of signing any listing agreement right now, but I just want to know. Give me a call. I have no problem meeting you. Again, you guys, I live in Eastvale. I know this place like the back of my hand. I'd love to come into your house, take a look at the upgrades and the condition of your house, give you some pointers on what to do to potentially maximize the return on your home. And if the time's right now, fantastic. If it's in 6 months or a year, that's fantastic too. I'd still like to get to know you and get to know my neighbors in the community here. My number is 951-444-8020. Give me a call. Have a good day.